Don't you let these religious church people make you think that just because you don't dot every I and cross every T, God's not going to do something great in your life. I'm so tired of religious people that are trying to make you think that they've been saved and sanctified. The devil is a lie. How are you so saved and sanctified and you got 3 kids? None of them have the same last name, and you ain't never been married, but you gonna judge me because I had a baby out of wet? I'm so tired of the religious folks that will say because you did this, you are disqualified. I dare you to tell somebody the devil is a liar. You can't disqualify me, because if God be for me, I might have some issues, I might have some struggles, I might have some addictions, you might know some things about me, you might have some video, you might have some pictures, you might have my reputation and my name out in the street, but no matter what you know about me, it's what God said about me. God says I belong to him. I'm his child from the top of my head to the soles of my feet. I belong to God. I tell you to tell 3 people, I belong to God. I belong to God. I don't have it all together. I got a little issue. I got a little struggle. I got a little proclivity. I got a little habit, but I still belong to God. It does not cancel what he has said about me. I'm a king's kid. I'm beloved by God. He's got a future for me. He's got a hope for me. I tell you to tell somebody I belong to God. With my crazy self, I shout on Sunday and twerk on Wednesday, but I belong to God. I'm praising him on Sunday and listening to worldly music sometime on a Thursday, but I still belong to God. And God's gonna get me from where I am to where I need to be. He knows how to take me. He knows how to take me by the hand, because I was sinking deep in sin. He knows how to take me from where I am to where I need to be. So tell somebody, be patient with me. Don't you count me out yet. You see I had a baby out of wedlock, but that's not the end of my story. You see I had a little addiction, but that's not the end of my story, because the God I serve knows how to pick me up, turn me around, and place my feet. Oh, is there anybody here that God turned you around, that God brought you out, that God made a way out of no way? I dare you to tell somebody he can do it. He can do it. He can do it. Tell him he can do it. The God I serve can do it. Oh, yes, he can. This is not where I'm going to end. This is not my final place. This is not where I'm going to rest. God's going to do exceeding abundantly above all I could ask. God's going to be the king over all of Israel. He gets part of the kingdom, but now in this chapter, in the chapter before, he is told all of your enemies are dead, and now you're about to be crowned the king. So David is going to the banquet. He's about to be crowned. I don't know what the banquet hall is here in Detroit, but maybe he's going down to the Marriott, and they're about to have a good old banquet. And they got first ladies about to sing the sermonic selection. And David gets to the banquet, and he says to himself, wait a minute. God made me a promise that he was going to bring me to the kingdom, but I forgot something. He asked a question. He said, is there anybody left of the house of Saul that I can be kind to? Why is this important, young people? Because in that time, when kings died, they killed off their whole family because they wanted to make sure that there was nobody that could come back and claim the throne. But David made a covenant Remember that word I told you about how God makes a covenant over your life? David made a covenant with his friend Jonathan. And he told Jonathan, who was the son of Saul, who was his enemy, he said, Jonathan, whoever is left. Jonathan said, I know I'm going to be dead, but I need you to make me a promise that when I die, you're going to look out for my family. David said, I'm going to do it. And so now in the text, we see in the 9th chapter, David asked Ziba, is there anybody left, President Rita, of the house of Saul that I can show kindness to? Well, Ziba comes to the king, and Ziba says, yes, there is somebody left of the house of Saul, but watch his answer. Instead of him saying what his name was, he said, there's somebody left, but he's lame in both feet. In other words, there's somebody that's left, but he is disqualified because of his past. There's somebody that's left, but he's disqualified because of what we see about him. There's somebody that's left, but he's disqualified because he does not meet the king's standards. Don't you know people will try to disqualify you based on what they know about you? They talk about that's the one that had the divorce. Don't use her. I had a divorce 20 years ago, and you still telling people about the divorce I had? I had that baby 30 years ago. I got grandchildren now, and you still telling people that I had a baby out of wedlock? He said, I'm going to describe him based on what is wrong with him. Why did he do that? He did that because in that time you could not come in front of the king with any physical defect. If you were lame or if you were crippled in any way, it disqualified you from coming in front of the king. And I want to say something else as I hurry to the close. Ziba had a personal interest in not wanting Mephibosheth to take his rightful place. Mephibosheth was in a place called Lodabar. Lodabar was in a low place. Lodabar was a place where nothing grew. Lodabar was a place where the sun was not shining. Mephibosheth lived in a place out of the way. But Ziba, I want you to get this point. Ziba was living, although he was a servant, he was living in Mephibosheth's house.